Okay, now we have composite 3. This is going to be where we're doing an anterior composite. So the first steps are going to be the same as the rest. We're always going to use the mirror and explorer, and that's to verify that we're working on the right tooth. And then we're going to do the anesthetic, so you'll have the cotton tip applicator as well as the syringes, and you already know by this point which syringe you're passing. Once they're numb, we'll use the high-speed handpiece and then the slow-speed handpiece, and you'll be using the HVE, and then we'll go to the spoon excavator. Now this one's where it's a little bit different. This is an example would be we're working on number 8, mesial facial lingual. So the first thing we want to do is go ahead and use that acid etch. So you would pass the acid etch and the dentist would place it in the right location. Then we're going to wait that 10 to 20 seconds depending on the manufacturer, and then we're going to rinse it very carefully with the air water syringe and the HVE. Now the next step is to pass the mylar strip. You can see it's clear and plastic. You cannot use the metal matrix band in the anterior teeth because the curing light cannot penetrate through, so it won't set it up. So we're going to use the mylar strip. You place that. The next step is the bonding agent. That's where you're going to put that drop of bonding into that little into the disposable well, and then the micro brush. So you're going to pass that. Now we need to use the curing light. So you set up the bonding material. The next step is going to be to give the actual composite, so we want that in the composite gun. And then once that's done, you give the dentist the plastic instrument, and then we're going to go ahead and set it up with the curing light. And a lot of times what they'll do is bend that mylar strip around so it's on the facial of that tooth instead of just right up in between. Then we're going to take the mylar strip out, and then we're going to check the bite. Oh, yep, you can use the cotton pliers. And then we're going to check the bite. You're going to use articulating paper holder. If it's high in any way, we're going to have that high-speed handpiece again and check the bite again. And then we're still going to smooth and polish it with the sandpaper discs and the slow-speed handpiece. And then you would give a final rinse. The directions change, though. When you're doing an anterior composite, anything in the front, they have to be careful when they're eating. In other words, they're not going to eat beef jerky by, biting down in the anterior teeth with it. They have to be careful with an apple. So you want to make sure you give those directions to the patient.